Hey, and welcome back to another video in my eBay parts repair playlist, the playlist of videos where I go on eBay and buy broken electronic items for cheap and I try and fix them on camera. What we have today is this. This is an 8 gig first gen iPhone or iPhone 2G. I won it in an auction for $19, I think. I don't know, but it's on screen here, the price and everything. I think it was $19 or $20, something like that. It said water damage, but that's okay because I'm not going to use this phone. I'm not going to add it to my collection or anything. I'm going to use it for spare parts. I'm going to use its display for spare parts for this iPhone because this is a 4 gig one. This is the rarer 4 gig one, and this one, if you remember my previous video on this phone, I'll link it up in the card right here and down in the description below if you want to check that video out. This phone works and all, but it has a damaged display and it has an error on iTunes when I try to restore it. The iTunes error can be fixed, but the display needs to be replaced. There's no way to find brand new displays for this thing anymore after what, 14 years, 2007, yeah, no, that'll be 13 years. So 13 years, a 13-year-old phone, I'm not gonna find spare display, so I have to take it off another one. But the problem is, if this thing actually works and there's nothing wrong with it, then I might not actually use it for parts because then I'm gonna feel bad because it's a perfectly working phone, it's a collector's item, all that stuff. But if its motherboard is shot, then I'm gonna use it for spare parts. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button and check out my channel. And if you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, turn on that bell notification button to get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'm also on Discord and Instagram, to which I post teasers and behind the scenes. And you can find me on those using the links down in the description below. All right, so let's jump right in. So this thing will take it apart and we'll see what's up. I have another video that I'm waiting to do. Probably will upload it later today or tomorrow. I don't know. It's an iPod that I bought off Macari. But we'll do the iPhone first because I want to know whether this thing is going to end up as spare parts or what. I kind of feel bad doing this, like using it for spare parts, because if it works especially, we'll see. It's missing that black piece at the bottom, the antenna cover. This one actually has its antenna cover, it's over there. And the seller had listed this as water damage, and it's in rough shape. It's like, man, I have 3 iPhone 2Gs. This one and another 2. The other 2 work perfectly fine. One just doesn't have a battery. The other one is working perfectly fine. And as you can see, apart from a few dents and stuff, they look okay. The other 2 look even better. One actually looks really new. This one doesn't have a lot of dents, but it's like it's been through a sandpaper machine. Buttons work, hold, lock switch works. Power button seems to work. Let's grab a SIM ejector tool. Let's see if one of those old AT&T SIMs are in here. Nope, there's no SIM card in here. So let that stay out. The display looks good. That's why I bought it. Even in the photos, the display didn't look like it had any patches or marks. The glass is scratched, but I'm gonna find a way to lift this display off. I'm going to separate the display. I know it's pretty dumb, but I'm going to separate the display and I'm going to put it on here because if you look closely at this thing does not have scratches at all. It's in excellent condition. It's just got a bad LCD. So I'm going to swap the LCDs. I know they're pasted to each other, but I'm going to try and do an LCD swap. So let me go try and power this thing on. Might be a short battery, who knows. And like I said, if it does turn on, I'm not going to use it for spare parts. I'll have to find another one that doesn't work, but we'll see. So plugged it to a charger. Nothing. No life, nothing. So water damage. I mean, if it had water damage for a long time, the motherboard is shot. But water damage, like it'll not damage the LCD that much, unless the water sat in there and got absorbed into the ribbon. But if the water damage was not that severe, we could salvage the LCD, hence why I bought this. We're not getting anything in terms of power. Which year was this? So this is a 2007 one. Missing the bottom half, has not been attempted to be opened. Yeah, no power. I'll probably leave this on the charger for a while. We'll see what happens, and if nothing happens, I'm just going to take it apart. Alright, so I gave it some time on the charger, didn't do anything. I guess we're going to take it apart. Well, that's not the final test though. I'm going to still hook up a battery, kind of rig a battery together, see if it still has some sort of life in it with a new battery. I'm pretty sure the battery on this thing is either blown or something. So we'll take this apart and we'll see what we get. Judging by the torque on the screws, these have not been opened. This phone has not been opened, I guess, but it's hard to say. I hate taking these things apart. They're just so annoying. It's just getting under this thing, and there's like a clip-like thing. It's really annoying. You know what? I'll probably do this part off camera because it's gonna take a while, and I'll jump to that when I'm done. So I managed to open it, and I'm wearing gloves because it's absolutely disgusting inside. Like, it's really dusty, and I think I should even put on my N95 mask, but I see there's water damage. That's evidence of water damage at some point. Battery is not bloated or anything, so let's proceed with taking this thing apart. I moved the camera a bit further because I don't have space to work, so I'm sorry if that. I'll try and bring it as close as I can. So we'll start taking these out, I guess. The steel things. I'll just start taking the motherboard out. We're gonna have to wait a minute. First thing I want to do is probably take out some of this stuff and replace the battery. So I'm gonna attempt to see if this thing powers on. Like, you'll be like, you should clean it with alcohol first. I'm pretty sure there is no water left in this thing because it's been, what, I don't know. It's definitely, if this phone was in use, a decent last year of this phone's use could be around maybe 2010. I mean, after 2010, this phone would have been unusable. So let's assume that this thing was last used around 2010. So 10 years ago, I don't think the water could have got. The water is still there, obviously. It's just the residual damage. So what I'm gonna do here is, in the meantime, I'm gonna heat up my soldering iron. I'm gonna, you know what? I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna take the battery out and I'm gonna replace it with a different battery, my tester battery. Okay, so the battery's out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it as close as I can to the battery. This thing, no leaks, but it's just an old piece of junk now. Yeah, there's definitely been water damage here. There's a lot of markings of water damage. So what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna do this off camera. I'm gonna rig a battery to this thing, and then we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna go ahead and rig this battery as usual, and I've proven that this rigging method works in this video up here. I rigged another iPhone 2G and it worked, so I'm gonna rig this battery like that, and I'll jump to that. So I did manage to rig the battery up, so let's go put this into one of the terminals and see if it turns on. Let's put it into the middle terminal. So we're not getting anything. Still nothing. By now we should have got the Apple logo. So we're not getting anything. Let's yeah, we're not getting anything. So I guess the motherboard is actually shot on this thing. We'll just keep trying. I just wanna, so that's positive. That's on one of the negative terminals. Yeah, it should work because that battery is fully charged, and yeah, we're not getting anything. So I'll keep trying this with different batteries just in case, and I'll jump to that once I'm done, and I'll tell you what happened. So I'm testing for a charge current while the thing is plugged in, and I'm not getting anything. So I'm guessing the motherboard is shot. The values you see on screen are just too insignificant to be a charge current. That's just an error with my multimeter. But yeah, we're not getting anything. It's completely shot. The motherboard is completely shot. So if you're not getting a charge current like that, we're not gonna get any form of the batteries are not gonna detect it either. So the motherboard, I think, like in the description, is completely shot. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try my best and kind of fix this board. I know it's pretty stupid. This board is ancient and the water damage probably has taken it with it long time ago. However, I just want to try. There's no harm in trying. So I want to try and get this board working again. So if I can get this out of here, okay. So we're gonna try and fix this board. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna skip this part because it's gonna take a while, but it's just basic taking apart a phone. There's nothing much to see, so I'll skip to when I'm done. Apart, I noticed this gray kind of stuff on the motherboard here. As you can see here, it looks like a burn to me, honestly. I can't say for sure, but it's definitely not something I've seen before. There's some of it on the part where the motherboard was sitting there as well. If I can get it to focus. Come on, focus. As you can see over here, there's some gray stuff. And it's like, yeah, you can see. That does not look like water damage, and that looks like an entire component has blown off. I don't know if that's coming up on camera, but I think there's a component missing here, and it's just completely blown off. So it must have fallen in water while it was working, and it shorted out the board so much that a component blew off. Because I remember there was something here. Yeah, I feel something. There are like stubs of what used to be like the solder mounts on for a component. I feel like, yeah, underneath that stuff. So I think we have a blown, I don't know, capacitor or something. So I guess this board is fried. I mean, if I had a proper soldering station, I could replace that, but nah, it's too much work. I now have the motherboard taken apart, and the iPhone 2G's motherboard was a layered motherboard, as this top part connects like that onto this and it locks into place with that connector like that. And yes, the first iPhone with a layered motherboard was not the iPhone 10. It was the iPhone first gen. And all the other iPhones until the iPhone 10, all I think, yeah, did the iPhone 6 have a layered board? No, the iPhone 6 didn't have a layered board. All the iPhones until the iPhone 10 had a single profile motherboards, but this iPhone 2G, the iPhone 2G had a somewhat of a layered motherboard. This is not technically true layered because it's a separate motherboard itself, and it's connected by a connector and not by solder connections. So it's not connected by solder connections. But honestly, this is more easy to work on than solder connections because you need a hot plate to take apart the motherboard on the iPhone 10 and all. You don't really need a hot plate, but professionally it's advised to use a hot plate. I don't have any of that equipment on me, so I would not be able to take apart an iPhone 10 if I had to, hence why my iPhone 10 is still broken. But yeah, I separated the two parts, and we have the processor here. That is not designed by Apple. This is a Samsung processor, though despite it having the Apple logo. The memory module is in there, I think. We have a bunch of other parts, stuff like that. But I don't see any water damage. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drench these two in my rubbing alcohol, and we'll see what happens after that. So after cleaning it with alcohol and heating it with a heat gun and a couple more tries by plugging different batteries into it, I couldn't get it to work. I guess the water damage or the burn or whatever. Oh, the burn. That actually wasn't a burn. That was just water, the residue of like water. Like there was just so much there at that spot probably that it just kind of got stuck there. It was probably minerals or something, whatever was in the water. That stuff was that was not like burns. That wasn't soot. So and there was no component there. It was just something else that I knocked my screwdriver on. So I cleaned that out, cleaned the motherboard out, heated it a couple of times with the heat gun. Doesn't seem to be working. None of the batteries work. So I guess this motherboard is shot. There may be a way to fix it, but I guess it's just too old to even try all that stuff now. It's not even worth it, like putting that much effort, because everything on the surface looks good, but I'm pretty sure there's something inside there that's broken. I don't have a microscope and stuff to look into those in detail, so I guess we're just gonna leave this phone for now. So what I'll be doing next is, in a different video, I'll be taking the display out of this thing and putting it into the other video. That's going to be a restoration video for that 4 gig iPhone. So stay tuned for that when I do the restoration video. But as far as this phone goes, that's it. And yeah, so I'll just use this phone's display in that phone, and we'll get that other phone working in the upcoming restoration video. So until then, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button and check out my channel. And if you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button, thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video.